A tiny black seed, smaller than a sesame seed, was prescribed by one of the most celebrated physicians in human history, has been found in the tomb of Egyptian pharaohs, and is now the subject of over 1,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies validating its healing power. This seed has been called a cure for everything, and modern science is finally catching up to what farmers and healers knew 3,500 years ago. Meet Nigella sativa, known around the world as black seed, black cumin, black caraway, or kalonji. Its scientific name is Nigella sativa, belonging to the Ranunculaceae family, the same family as buttercups. But do not let that delicate family name fool you. This plant is anything but fragile. Nigella sativa is a small flowering plant that typically grows between 20 and 60 centimeters in height. It produces pale blue or white flowers with 5 to 10 petals and deeply lobed, feathery green leaves that look almost like dill or fennel. Inside those flowers come seed capsules, and inside those capsules sit the real treasure: tiny, angular, jet black seeds, each no larger than 2 to 3 millimeters. They have a slightly rough texture, a pungent aroma, and a complex flavor, bitter, earthy, with hints of onion, oregano, and black pepper all at once. Nigella sativa originated in the Mediterranean region, specifically in parts of southwestern Asia and southern Europe, with strong historical roots in Egypt, Turkey, and the Indian subcontinent. Seeds of Nigella sativa were discovered in Tutankhamun's tomb, dating back to approximately 1325 BCE. Meaning this plant was precious enough to accompany a pharaoh into the afterlife. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whose words are recorded in the Hadith literature of Islam, reportedly said, "Use the black seed, for it contains a cure for every disease except death." This is not folklore. This statement drove centuries of research across Islamic medicine and is now being re-examined through modern pharmacology. The renowned physician Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, documented Nigella sativa extensively in his medical encyclopedia Canon of Medicine, written in the 11th century, recommending it for respiratory conditions, digestive problems, and parasite elimination. What makes black seed genuinely rule-breaking in the plant world is its chemical complexity. Most medicinal plants are known for 1 or 2 active compounds. Nigella sativa contains over 100 identified phytochemicals. The most powerful among them is thymoquinone, a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound found almost exclusively in this plant. This compound alone has been the subject of hundreds of independent laboratory studies. But thymoquinone is not working alone. It is supported by carvacrol, dithymoquinone, thymohydroquinone, fixed oils, essential oils, alkaloids, saponins, and flavonoids, all working synergistically in one tiny seed. Nigella sativa is a cool season annual crop. It is not a tropical plant. It thrives in temperate to semi-arid climates with warm days and cool nights. The ideal temperature range for its growth is between 15 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Fahrenheit to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. It struggles in prolonged humidity and cannot tolerate waterlogged soil. Frost at seedling stage can damage it, but once established, it shows moderate cold tolerance. The plant prefers well-drained, loamy to sandy loam soils, with a pH between 5.5 and 8.0, making it adaptable to a surprisingly wide range of soil types. It does not require highly fertile soil. In fact, it performs well in moderately poor soils, making it accessible to smallholder farmers in developing regions. Good sunlight is essential. It is a full-sun plant and will not produce well in shaded conditions. Black seed is grown most abundantly in India, Egypt, Turkey, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Sudan, and parts of the Middle East. India is the world's largest producer and consumer of Nigella sativa, using it heavily in culinary and medicinal traditions, particularly in Bengali cuisine as kalonji. Egypt is a major exporter, especially to European herbal and health supplement markets. Turkey produces significant quantities for domestic consumption and pharmaceutical extraction. Ethiopia and Sudan grow it for both local use and export. In recent years, demand has grown sharply in Germany, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada as interest in natural health supplements has surged. This has made Nigella sativa an increasingly valuable crop for export-oriented farmers. Week 1 to 2, Seeds are typically sown directly in the field, not transplanted, because the taproot does not tolerate disturbance. Germination occurs within 7 to 14 days, under ideal soil temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius to 22 degrees Celsius. Seeds are broadcast or row sown at a depth of 1 to 2 centimeters at a spacing of 20 to 25 centimeters between rows. Week 2 to 5, seedlings emerge and develop their feathery leaves rapidly. At this stage, weeding is critical. Nigella sativa is a poor competitor against aggressive weeds in early growth. Thinning is recommended to avoid overcrowding. Week 6 to 9, the plant enters its vegetative phase, developing its branched stem structure. Irrigation at this stage should be moderate. The plant is drought tolerant once established, and overwatering causes root disease. Week 10 to 13, flowering begins. The delicate pale blue flowers appear and are pollinated primarily by bees and other insects. This is when the plant is most visually striking in the field. Week 14 to 17, seed capsules form and mature. The capsules turn brown and begin to split when ready. Harvest is typically done by hand or with a light mechanized cutter when 70% of the capsules have browned, usually 130 to 150 days after sowing. One of black seed's greatest advantages for smallholder farmers is its low input requirement. It needs minimal fertilizer, tolerates short dry spells, and is largely resistant to most common crop pests, partly because its essential oils repel insects. A typical yield ranges from 500 to 1,200 kilograms per hectare, depending on soil quality, water availability, and variety. Can you grow it at home? Absolutely. Nigella sativa grows very well in containers, raised beds, and home gardens. A pot at least 30 centimeters deep with good drainage is sufficient. Sow seeds in early spring or autumn, place in a sunny windowsill or balcony, water moderately, and expect flowers in 10 weeks and seeds by week 15 to 17. It is genuinely one of the most rewarding medicinal plants a home gardener can grow. Per 100 grams of black seeds, you are looking at approximately 520 kilocalories, 26 grams of protein, 38 grams of fat, primarily healthy unsaturated fats, and 25 grams of dietary fiber. The seeds are rich in iron, calcium, zinc, selenium, and potassium. They contain vitamins B1, B2, B3, and folate. They are also a natural source of omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids in a roughly balanced ratio. Anti-inflammatory power, thymoquinone, the key active compound in black seed, has been demonstrated in multiple clinical studies to inhibit pro-inflammatory pathways, specifically the NF-κB pathway, with effects comparable in laboratory settings to some pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs. A 2013 review published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology summarized over 40 studies confirming thymoquinone's anti-inflammatory action in conditions ranging from arthritis to asthma. Immune system support. Research published in the Pakistan Journal of Medical Sciences demonstrated that Nigella sativa oil significantly increases the count and activity of CD4 plus T lymphocytes, the immune cells that HIV specifically destroys, suggesting meaningful immunomodulatory effects. It does not cure HIV, but it modulates immune response in measurable ways. Blood sugar regulation. A 2017 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Disorders analyzed 17 clinical trials involving Nigella sativa supplementation in type 2 diabetic patients. Results showed statistically significant reductions in fasting blood glucose and HbA1c levels, the long-term blood sugar marker. The seed appears to work by improving insulin sensitivity and protecting pancreatic beta cells. Cardiovascular health. Black seed oil has been shown in clinical trials to reduce total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides while simultaneously raising HDL cholesterol. A randomized controlled trial published in Phytomedicine in 2014 documented these effects over an 8-week period of supplementation. Antimicrobial properties. Perhaps most dramatically, thymoquinone and thymohydroquinone from black seed have demonstrated broad-spectrum antimicrobial activity, effective in laboratory settings against Staphylococcus aureus, including MRSA, methicillin-resistant strains. E. coli, Candida albicans, and several other pathogens. This is significant given the global rise of antibiotic resistance. Cancer research, while still in laboratory and early clinical trial stages, Thymoquinone has shown apoptotic or cell death-inducing effects on several cancer cell lines, including breast, colon, lung, and pancreatic cancer cells. This does not mean black seed cures cancer, but the cellular mechanisms are being seriously studied by oncology researchers at institutions including the University of Mississippi and Ain Shams University in Egypt. Nigella sativa is used extensively in veterinary contexts. Studies in poultry farming have shown that supplementing chicken feed with black seed powder at 1 to 3% of total feed weight significantly improves egg production, weight gain, and immunity against common poultry infections. In livestock, particularly goats and sheep, black seed supplementation has shown anti-parasitic effects, reducing internal worm loads and improving milk yield in dairy animals. It is increasingly used in natural and organic animal husbandry as an alternative to chemical dewormers. From an environmental standpoint, Nigella sativa is a farmer's ecological ally. Its flowers are excellent nectar sources for honeybees and native pollinators, contributing to biodiversity in agricultural landscapes. The plant's root system helps prevent soil erosion on sloped farmland because it requires minimal synthetic fertilizers or pesticides. Its own chemical compounds provide natural pest resistance. It reduces the chemical load on local ecosystems. In rotation with cereals, it has been shown to break pest and disease cycles that otherwise build up in monoculture farming systems. This plant has been used by human civilizations for over 3,500 years. You know it has been validated in over 1,000 published scientific studies. You know it grows in ordinary soil, needs minimal water, requires almost no pesticides, and can be cultivated in a small container on a sunny balcony. And yet, most people in the world have never grown a single seed of it. That is the gap between ancient wisdom and modern living, and you can close that gap in your own backyard. Growing Nigella sativa is not just about having a medicinal plant at hand, though that alone is valuable. It is about reconnecting with a lineage of agricultural knowledge that stretches across Egypt, Arabia, Persia, South Asia, and the Mediterranean. Every time you sow these seeds, you are participating in one of the longest agricultural traditions in human history. We live in a time of accelerating biodiversity loss. Over the last century, an estimated 75% of agricultural plant genetic diversity has been lost as commercial monocultures replace traditional crop varieties. Nigella sativa, particularly its heirloom and landrace varieties from Ethiopia, India, and Egypt, carries unique genetic traits: drought tolerance, specific chemical profiles, local disease resistance that cannot be recreated once lost. When you grow black seed in your garden and save seeds from your best plants for the following year, you are not just saving money, you are preserving genetic material that might one day contribute to medicine, agriculture, or food security. Seed saving is a form of living heritage. It is quiet, ordinary, and profoundly important. Global demand for black seed oil and black seed powder has expanded significantly over the past decade. The global black seed oil market was valued at approximately $62 million in 2022 and is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of over 5% through 2030, driven by the natural health supplement and functional food industries in North America, Europe, and the Gulf region. For a smallholder farmer in India, Pakistan, Egypt, or Ethiopia, an acre of Nigella sativa producing 600 to 800 kilograms of seeds at current export prices of $1.50 to 4.00 per kilogram for raw seed represents a meaningful income stream. Organic certified black seed commands premium prices in European and North American health food markets. The crop is drought-adapted, low cost to produce, and increasingly sought after by natural product companies. For farmers looking to diversify beyond staple cereals, it is a serious option worth researching with local agricultural extension services. There is a reason this seed survived 3.5 millennia of human agriculture, not because of mythology, not because of religion alone, but because it works. Because generation after generation of farmers, healers, and mothers observed what this tiny black seed did for the people and animals around them, and chose to keep growing it, keep saving it, and keep passing it on. Science did not discover Nigella sativa. It confirmed what agricultural communities already knew, and that is a lesson worth carrying into everything we do with food and farming. The knowledge of those who came before us is not superstition. It is often evidence documented in the most reliable laboratory of all, thousands of years of lived human experience. So plant a few black seeds this season. Let them flower, watch the bees come, harvest the capsules, save the seeds, and when someone asks you what you are growing, tell them, this is a plant that humans have trusted for 3,500 years, and now, the science agrees. Subscribe if you want to keep learning about the extraordinary plants that have shaped human civilization and still have the power to change your health and your garden. And drop a comment below. Let me know if you have ever grown black seed or if you plan to.